you need to evaluate your assets, what you have, and you need to make sure your coverages matches that. Okay. You need to make sure you have the proper coverages. Some people drive off and say, I just want the cheapest, no BI limits, and they don't understand the consequences of, that can cause where if you are at fault in an accident, you don't have BI limits, for example. Um, you have to get special insurance. That's way more expensive, right?
Now explain to my audience what is BI insurance.
Bodily injury. Sorry, I'm talking the insurance
Okay,
lingo.
bodily
Injury,
injuries.
for example.
So
Right.
PIP just covers what?
Um, Personal injury protection. That's mainly focused on your medical, right? Um, it cover a portion of your medical, and then some people also have what they call. I'm trying to keep it real simple here, but some of them have a supplement, medical payment that can add into that. Some people don't know that's one of the first things that when you go into the hospital that they look at. They take that card before they even look at your health insurance. So I just think it's good to, as a young person or as an older person, to make sure that you ask questions like, if you don't know, like what you just did, okay, what is PIP, right? What is medical payment? As far as your homeowner's insurance, if I have a sinkhole, is that covered? Okay. What is ground collapse versus a sinkhole coverage? So I think it's very important that before people realize, before they purchase a policy, that they ask questions and don't rush into it.
It's okay. Let's we're gonna stick with the car insurance first. Okay. Let's say most people, like you say, they get insurance by what type of car. Like if I got a old school car, ain't much value to it. I
Right.
say, well, I'm just gonna get PIP because the car ain't worth that much. But it's more than paying off your vehicle. It's about the medical expenses. What if you at fault? You have to cover the other person's injury, hospital bills, and so forth.
Correct.
So tell us the main difference in coverage wise with PIP and what you get with full coverage, or is it something in the middle? Is either one or the other?
Well, PIP is something that you require to have here in the state of Florida. I know they tried to take it away at one time, and the medical community and all them fought against it when it was about to sunset. So that's something that you have, right? But what's very important is to make sure you have the proper amount of bodily injury limits that's paying out to the other person, because you also got to protect your savings, your property, and your income, right? So that's important to make sure you have that as well, and to also make sure you understand the Florida laws that if you don't have that and you get involved in an accident, you have to get a special type insurance where you have to get like 100, 300, for example, 100,000 bodily injury limits, 300,000, per situation, per occasion.
So is it best? Is it, if you can afford it, it's always the best to get full coverage. I noticed that if you are making payments on a vehicle, it's required in the state of Florida that you have full coverage, correct?
Well, yeah. Now, when people typically say full coverage, they're typically talking about adding comprehensive and collision, right? Comprehensive, vandalism, theft, natural disaster, which that include like my mother-in-law when she totaled her car hitting a pregnant cow on her home, heading to her home in Morrison. Cow got loose. That was under comprehensive. Then you got collision, hit another vehicle, run into a building.
Do your insurance go up? Let's say that a tree fall on my car. I got full coverage. Okay, they repair it. Does that make my insurance go up?
Every insurance company is slightly different, but typically that doesn't comprehensive typically doesn't necessarily make your insurance go up unless you have a bunch of those in a short period of time.
Okay.
For example, this came up with a friend of mine. He posted something on Facebook because and I had a conversation with him afterwards. He did not know here's another cover, so you got to be careful with. He got towing, so he had so many insurance companies dropped him, right? He had so many different claims, comprehensives, a bunch of towing within a year. So insurance companies do look at frequency, but typically what makes your rate go up the highest is if you have, from what I've seen, if you have too many at fault accidents, if you just have just too many claims, period. But special at fault accidents, speeding tickets, all of those things.